Okay, sir, if you will raise your right hand and be sworn.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Shipes, could you please state and spell your name for the record, please?
Yep, Johnny.
Okay, I hate to do this, but I just want to make sure this is clear. He's the guy right here. I know he's in a very small box, but this is a virtual court hearing where most of the lawyers are virtual and the defendant is in court because he's in jail, so they brought him out. But the guy who's testifying, which is the label owner, he's right here in this box. So when you hear his voice and you want to look at him, I guess he's right here. All right, I'll keep playing it. I'll move the chat to the top. All right.
Shipes, JONNYSHIPES.
And what do you do for a living?
I run a record label that Queso's signed to.
Okay, and for the record, who is Queso?
He's a recording artist signed to the company.
And his given name is Hakeem Robinson.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Yeah, correct. Sorry, I didn't understand what you were saying.
How long have you known Mr. Robinson?
Going on at least 3 years. It could be 4 at this point. I knew him before I signed him. I got to know him, really, took a liking to him and his work ethic, and then signed him, I think, 2+ years ago.
And then last year when you provided testimony to this court, you did provide testimony as it related to his character and that you found him to be a person of good moral character.
Correct.
Okay. Now, as it stands today, are you aware that Mr. Robinson collectively has a $4 million bond for 2 separate homicide charges?
Yes.
Okay. And I wouldn't call him technically an employee, but would it be fair to say that Mr. Robinson works with you?
Yes.
Okay. And based on what you are able to do, are you able to put forward any money to contribute to Mr. Robinson's bond in order to ensure that he returns to court and answers to these charges?
Yes, absolutely.
Have you been informed of the nature of the evidence and the strength of the evidence of the 2 cases against him?
Yes.
And you're still willing to put that money forward? And if I'm correct, it's $25,000, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And at the time last year when we were about to post or to come together to post the $1 million bond for Mr. Robinson, have circumstances changed since then so that you're unable to provide that today?
Yeah, just the nature of the business. A year prior to that, I had a very good year. This year, the past year has not been as good to the company. We also just, Your Honor, had no budget allotted for him for 2022 because we had no clue whether he'd be getting out of jail or not. So, our funds are tied up in other things, where a year ago we were hoping that he would be released and there was still money in his budget based on, him getting arrested within that fiscal year of his budgeting. So yeah, it's changed. One thing, I don't know how much I can actually speak, but one thing I wanted to say is, unfortunately, there's other artists that are signed to me that are in predicaments, not exactly like this, but are locked up and incarcerated. And I don't go before the judge or speak on it because I believe that what they're going through is there's facts that show that that's what's going on. And I really don't have a place to speak to a judge and say, please let somebody out based on XYZ things. In looking at this whole case, and knowing Hakeem as well as I do, I really am passionate about this and speaking to you and trying to put my best foot forward because
God damn, this nigga trying.
I think based on the evidence, it really shows that he's innocent. And I'm here before you today to just, hope that you can at least look at all the factors and understand that if I could have put more money up for this particular situation this year, I would. And I just really would let you know that I'm trying to do anything I can to get him out and to have him get back on the right path, which was really, he was becoming a music superstar as this all happened, and he's lost all his momentum. And, like I said, I really care for him and want to see him back on his feet. And I believe that, I don't think he's any type of risk. I think that between what I would put up and just him being, the celebrity that he is, he's not going anywhere, So, I'm just saying all this to say it's not like I'm just here going through the motions. I really do believe in what I'm saying and what I've seen on the evidence side. And obviously, that's for you to decide, Your Honor, but I did want to say that.
All right, thank you. Any other questions, Ms. Kawaz?
I do.
By the way, I don't want to bore you with the legal and whatever talk. What you're gonna hear is this guy basically saying, "I don't make a fucking dime off of this money, or off of this nigga." And low key, if I was to do the math, he owes me money, but I think I just fuck with him. You're gonna hear him say some wild shit. This nigga's, he's like, "Yo, I trust this guy around my kids." And then they're gonna bring up, they're like, "Yo, you know he's charging murder." They're like, "I don't know why he's charging murder." You gotta hear this shit. This nigga vouching.
Do not have any more questions for Mr. Shipes, Your Honor. I appreciate that, Mr. Shipes. Thank you.
Okay, so that was the attorney for Queso. So Queso's attorney asked a couple questions just to be like, "Oh, you fuck with him, right? Cool. Now the prosecutor is gonna come. The prosecutor knows what this is. You're just trying to vouch to get this nigga out of jail, so he's gonna come with a little bit tougher questions. Listen to this shit. Holy. By the way, yo, again, we're live on multiple platforms. This is lit. Yo, Twitch, y'all done fucked up. We had 2,000 on the King Akademiks page. We had 3,000 on Twitch. Holy. And I ain't gonna lie, we on Facebook. Facebook, y'all struggling. We had 250 over there. Anyway, somebody did. Hold on. Hey, for everybody who's on the YouTube, I'm gonna get some mods over there. Don't you worry. You feel me? Don't you worry. I see there's some like whatever chats or whatever coming in. Somebody said get the likes up. Okay, I don't know what that does, but do that. Some other nigga says how much for a feature, Lil Lack. Yo, chat, how much I think I should charge for a feature? We're gonna talk about that afterwards, okay? Y'all niggas remember these questions. We will talk about them. Let's get back to the video, okay? Wait, how do I get to it? Holy. Oh, here we go.
Yep. Do you want me to log off or?
No, wait, hold up. We have two attorneys here who get an opportunity to cross-examine you, so I'll ask Mr. Cooper first.
Yes, Your Honor. Would you prefer me to stay here?
I need you to be at a microphone, but if you'll get to this microphone closest to the smarts board, that way the witness can see you better.
Mr. Shipes, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me, I know it's been a while since the last time we talked, you indicated that you did sign Hakeem Robinson Queso to your label, correct?
Correct.
Duh.
And how much was that signing for?
I'm not trying to be coy with you. I honestly don't remember. I want to say 30K, possibly 50. No more than 50. I don't have it right in front of me, but between 30.
Hold on. I could cut him short here. No disrespect. And by the way, I know y'all gonna look at these terms. When you have no song popping, 20 to 30,000 is about the average of what people are being signed for. Now, when you say what you're signed for, your whole contract isn't worth $20 or $30,000. But it's probably like, yo, I'm gonna give you 15 right now. You know what I mean? It's worth more if like you actually succeed, but a nigga is probably only gonna go in for 30,000. We don't know what you're gonna be. So I'm trying to give y'all some context to what these sound like or what these things mean, because a lot of times people don't understand what the music industry is. Like when you hear somebody says they just signed for 30 million, a $30 million deal is throughout the lifetime of the deal. That's different than when somebody says they signed, like 6ix9ine signed for $30,000. That 30,000, probably 10 was like, you know, a signing bonus. And then the other 20 was like, yo, we give you 10 before the first project, 10 afterwards. That's how it goes. You know what I mean? Now, the label probably has options for the rest of the shit. So they might not have to pick up the second contract, the second album, the second whatever. They're going to just kind of weigh it out. You know what I mean? Just trying to give you guys some context.
$30,000 and $50,000.
So that was $30 to $50,000 paid directly to Hakeem Robinson.
Correct.
Okay. And as a result of him signing with your record label, did he produce music?
He did.
Okay. And after he produced that music, was that music sold?
It was.
Okay. And that brought some profit to your company?
Unfortunately, it didn't, only because his career was cut short based on what he's going through right now. So it started to heat up, and we were very excited about him. And because he had been put in jail, we actually had money left over to be able to put towards this situation. But in the past year, him not being out, not being able to be on social media and stuff like that, if I sent you a P&L, we're probably upside down, maybe like $20,000. We had thought about looking into if he's made profits and putting that towards us, but he's in the negative currently with us.
Does he make any royalties off the music that is currently outstanding?
Fuck no.
No, but in theory, he would make royalties down the road. If he got out and we assumed his buzz would get back big, he'd be making royalties within, 12 months. But unfortunately right now, no, he's unrecouped.
Okay. But based on the music he's already put out, should he be released from jail? Your assertion is that he would then start making money off royalties based on the music already out there.
Yes, but again, we had to pay a ton of money for.
Okay. I have to kind of decipher what's going on in court because I don't know if it's going over your guys' head. By the way, salute to my people on Twitch. Hey, listen. Let me announce to everybody who's watching. This is a primarily Twitch stream, okay? I'm testing it out with other places, but salute to everybody on Twitch. Also, salute to my Where's Perry? Thank you for the 12 months on Tier 1 subscription. I'm trying to get better at that. Anyway, let me just explain what the fuck, what they're dancing around it. The guy's basically saying, so you're saying he's trying to set up a question, the prosecutor, to say, if he gets out of jail, he's going to be profitable, but he's profitable off of the fact that he was in jail. This guy, who's the label owner, is saying, no, he's not going to be profitable. I'm not basically coming here to try to make money off him. You get what I mean? The prosecutor's trying to paint the label owner to say, you're only vouching for him to come out because you're trying to make a bag. The label owner is saying, we're down in money to him, and we still don't think even if he gets out, we're going to make a bag. Then they're going to get into some more things of, okay, so why do you want to get out? You'll hear.
Lawyers and everything. So he's hundreds of thousands of dollars unrecouped based on past investments in him.
Okay. Is it your intention that if Mr. Robinson is released from jail, that he will then still be working with your label?
Yes, 100%.
And is that under the contract that he currently signed that you referenced he got paid $30,000 to $50,000 for?
Yes.
Okay. So no new contract, still working off the existing contract.
Correct. And we did plan on finding some sort of money if we could get him released, to give him some sort of money in his pocket to live. Like I said to the judge, I'm willing to try to muster up as much money as I can. If Hakeem says to us, look, out of the, maybe we were thinking to give him $25,000 upon release, 10,000 more goes to his bond or something, but there's not significant money available to him this year because we hadn't budgeted for him to be out this year.
But it's a good business decision for you for him to be released so that he can make money for himself and for yourself.
If we're just speaking openly, I have very successful artists on my label. Hakeem's a year or two away, so this isn't based at all on me trying to get an artist out for my benefit. If he was a platinum selling artist, yeah, you could make that argument, but he's one of my smallest artists.
Are any of your other artists currently incarcerated on 2 different counts of murder?
Objection, relevance.
All right, how's that relevant?
Sorry, you testified that you're speaking today because.
Well, I don't actually mind answering that question, though, Your Honor, because that's what I had.
Well, the defense is objected to relevance, so I sustained it, and you don't have to answer that.
Yo, let me show you how much this nigga is vouching for Queso. They ask a question, which is almost like a setup question. The attorney for Queso objects. Like, yo, bro, what I got to do with anything, right? The nigga who's vouching wants to vouch so much that even after the objection, he's like, you're going to hear him now. Yo, I could still answer the question, Your Honor. No, shut up. Yo, he's vouching crazy for Queso. Keep in mind, he's already said Queso ain't making me no money. But the prosecutor's like, well, you're talking about him like he's just a regular person on the label. Do you have anybody on the label who got 2 murder charges? And then that's when Queso's lawyer said, whoa, chill. What I got to do with anything? Hear this.
The attorney will ask you another question.
You testified that you believe Hakeem Robinson is of good moral character.
100%. I've had him in my house, around my family. He's a very good guy.
Are you
Hold on, let's go back. This is Queso? Yo, what's that song that Young and Ace rapping about Queso? Tell me the song. This nigga said, listen to this.
you testified that you're speaking today because
Well, I don't actually mind answering that question, though, Your Honor, because
See, he was trying to answer the question.
that's what I had.
Well, the defense has objected to relevance, so I sustained it,
Okay.
and you don't have to answer that. The attorney will ask you another question.
you testified that you believe Hakeem Robinson is of good moral character.
100%. I've had him in my house, around my family.
I see you, Ben, huh? What? This is great moral character. Like, yo, think about it. Nah, this is good.
Yes, but again, like, we had to pay a ton of money for lawyers and
They're talking about a dude who's accused of 2 murders. He said, no, I've had him around my family or my kids. Like, I think he's a good guy. Yo, that's vouching.
Is it your intention that if Mr. Robinson is released from jail, that he will then still be working with your label?
Yes, 100%.
And is that under the contract that he currently signed that you referenced he got paid $30,000 to $50,000 for?
Yes,
Okay. So no new contract, still working off the existing contract.
correct. And we did plan on finding some sort of money if we could get him released, to give him some sort of money in his pocket to live. Like I said to the judge, I'm willing to try to muster up as much money as I can. If Hakeem says to us, look, out of the, maybe we were thinking to give him $25,000 upon release, 10,000 more goes to his bond or something, but there's not significant money available to him this year because we hadn't budgeted for him to be out this year.
But it's a good business decision for you for him to be released so that he can make money for himself and for yourself.
I mean, if we're just speaking openly, I have very successful artists on my label. Hakeem's a year or 2 away, so this isn't based at all on me trying to get an artist out for my benefit. If he was a platinum selling artist, yeah, you could make that argument, but he's one of my smallest artists.
Are any of your other artists currently incarcerated on 2 different counts of murder?
Objection, you bitch ass nigga.
All right, how's that relevant?
Sorry. You testified that you're speaking today because
Well, I don't actually mind answering that question,
Whoa!
because that's what I had.
Well, the defense has objected to relevance, so I sustained it,
Okay.
and you don't have to answer that. The attorney will ask you another question.
There you
you
go.
testified that you believe Hakeem Robinson is of good moral character.
100%. I've had him in my house, around my family. He's a very good guy.
Are you aware of his prior criminal history?
Yes.
What are you aware of?
I do. I'm sorry. What?
What are you aware of specifically in relation to his prior criminal history?
You're talking about this particular.
Yo, let me just clap it up for Big Savage 24. He says, Act, one of my ops just passed out of hatred. Hatred 19, man. Yo, listen. Yo, we found in the labs, okay? We had to go back to the origin, nigga. Where did they say where did they say COVID came from? What's that fucking place? Wuhan. We went to Wuhan, China, nigga, and we did a study. And that study came back and said that the biggest, like, listen, more than COVID, the biggest disease was hatred 19. So, brother, Big Savage 24, if one of your options passed from hatred 19, it's only right, man. Pay that man some respects. Show up to his funeral. Leave a rose on his casket. Help him down into the hole. Leave a little bouquet by, the tombstone. And visit it every month and take a nice warm piss where that nigga lays. I'm just gotta be honest with you. Listen, hatred 19 is the worst thing in the world. Let's get back to the story, though.
Particular these cases?
No, not these 2 cases. His prior criminal history.
I don't know. I don't have his prior stuff, but I mean, I think that regardless of his prior history before knowing me, I can only judge him off of what I've seen, you know, and I actually rehabilitate youths for the past 15 years. So part of seeing somebody that's come out of bad circumstances and tries to better themselves, that's what I base people on. So he's never been, and again, I'm on the stand. I would never lie on this. I've never seen a violent side to him. I've never seen him do anything disrespectful around me in studios when I'm not around with my staff. So
Queso? Never seen him hurt a fly. Yo, this guy vouching. Queso. I've never even heard him raise his voice. I don't even know if he could get angry. I have him around my kids. My kids love him. He's the best. He's a quiet guy.
I can't speak on any of the negative, portrayals of him because I haven't seen that. I could, you could talk about his music, but that's entertainment.
Okay, well, let's do that. So his music,
Entertainment.
Can you describe to the court predominantly what the themes of his music are?
Objection, relevance doesn't go to the financial inquiry and anything to do with this motion, Judge.
Okay, want to share how that's relevant?
Judge, he testified that he is standing up for Mr. Robinson based on his belief that he is of good moral character. The evidence against him is weak, in his opinion, and that his music is something that they intend to put back out there to generate funds, not only for Mr. Robinson, but for his company. I think it goes towards bias as well. So I'm trying to find out exactly what he's basing the belief that Mr. Robinson has good moral character on.
Well,
I'll allow that line of questioning. So you can go ahead and answer that, Mr. Scheich.
yeah, I mean, I don't think I know, because I've been doing this for 20 plus years, that music is entertainment, whether it's a rock star talking about,
Let's pause that real quick, Chad. This ain't Queso. Let's get to it.
Baby, who I smoke,
Rory!
who I smoke.
Millie!
Now I wonder what I upset. Got a low, I told her drop that. FNXP when the got a kite back. No, I'm smoking G, the one thing, they just can't get them back. And it's flat back to back.
Hold up!
We double back.
My
My
killer
killer make his face go, that's one thing by queso.
Wait, what the fuck?
Make his face go, that's one thing by queso.
Wait, hold the fuck up.
His face go, that's one thing.
Wait, hold the fuck up.
We double back. My killer make his face go, that's one thing by queso.
You're what? Hold up.
Back, we double back. My killer make his face go, that's one thing by queso. I spit the game, but you know that shit a case closed. One of them dead boys that say all I do is say.
Queso's a great guy. Fuck what they talking about. Let's get back to shit.
having sex with multiple women or doing heroin or whatever they talk about in their rock music versus a hip hop artist talking about the streets that they've come from and the stories that they've seen. Hakeem's a poet, so he's painting pictures of things that he's seen, in his life or in his neighborhood. And that's like part of the beauty of what hip hop is. It's called drill music, and it's definitely has a violent undertone, but that doesn't mean that he's doing those things. And, if you look at the majority of our
Hakeem, aka Queso, is a poet. Let's hear this poetic justice.
Rapper Queso posted the picture to Instagram. It's since been taken down.
He feels like the local rappers are glorifying these murders by putting the victims' faces on the album cover. It's unclear
Poetry.
if the rappers are directly linked to these.
Bitch, Queso bitch, Glocks and Rugers, we be hitting shit. We flipping shit, don't run, we chase shit down, we blitzing shit. We blitzing shit, don't be
That's fucking poetry to me.
bib it out, we hitting shit. Ass shots, little bitch, bib it out. Nigga never play with Queso. Right there, he'll make your face go. At 4+4, how to 8.
Don't play with Queso, he'll make your face go. Shakespeare was a hoe. Shakespeare ain't got shit on that nigga Queso.
Go. Had Mook ass running from the Draco. Heard niggas
Who's Mook?
screaming 23K though. What the fuck get chased with that K though? Nigga never play with Queso. Smoke Dirk and Bibby to the face though. Hold up, lady, Bibby out of place, out of place.
Holy, let's get back to court.
artists, 95% of them, that's the case there, So again, I can't tell you what he does every single day of his life, but I can tell you that when he was signed
You write poems.
to me during those years, I only saw a good guy that was trying to make a career for himself.
God damn. Yo, my man vouching. Everybody clapping up for Johnny Shipes. This nigga is vouching. So I don't know what y'all talking about. I was around him for like 4 years. I only saw a good fucking guy. He like, yeah, what's the problem?
Quiet, humble, would come to the studio, work.
Quiet. Wait, hold on. I gotta get it right. Quiet.
Hold up, wait, baby, out of place. Hold up, wait, baby.
Okay, sounds quiet to me.
And that's based on why I'm here today.
And
No, I'm sorry, one last thing. No profit to me. You know, the profits I'd see from him, especially with the money I've spent over the past 2 years of this nightmare, I wouldn't make money from Hakeem, for Your Honor, for 2 or 3 years. And I can get you guys statements to show you that, quarterlies, whatever you want to see.
And remind me again, where are you based out of?
New York City.
Do you reside here in Jacksonville at all?
No, but I'm very familiar with Jacksonville. I've been signing artists there for like 15 years.
So it's fair to say, I think, based on that you were not around Mr. Robinson for a large portion of his life while he resided here in Jacksonville.
No. But he's on trial for one specific thing, not things in the past that he might have done and been arrested for.
Holy. Yo, this thing sound like an attorney. But wait. He's only on trial for one thing. I don't know about anything else.
Well, there are 2 cases. No. There are currently 2 cases that he's facing charges on. Just one quick follow-up. With regard to the comment you made a few moments ago regarding artists and drill rap, you said that 90-95% are talking about what they've seen. Did I understand you correctly?
Yeah, like what they've heard, neighborhood stories. That's what any great hip hop artist or artist in general, they tell stories, they paint pictures. He's bringing people into the lifestyle of an entire state, or really deeper than a state. It's many states, and he's just talking about that. That doesn't mean he's done those things.
Would you agree that some artists that put out drill rap are talking about things they've actually done?
Objection,
Yes.
lack of personal knowledge, improper opinion, testimony, not relevant.
Okay, so good lawyer, man. That lawyer sound a little bit, Indian. You know what I mean? They be on their shit. Y'all go to court, get an Indian lawyer, Jewish lawyer. You know what I mean? I fuck with my niggas, but you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, if he knows about it, I'll allow him to answer.
I don't know for a fact any artist. I can't speak, I'm not hanging out with these people 24/7. But yes, I'm assuming some of these stories come from reality. I mean, the particular stories you're talking about, you've seen the evidence. So, it's a 5'3" guy and Hakeem's 6'3", for just getting into the facts of the whole thing. But yeah,
Look at this nigga right here. He's the prosecutor. Look at him when he says, so what happens is Johnny Shipes actually talks about a piece of evidence that they're going to use. According to some of the discovery and also police reports, there was a particular height of a shooter that he's charged with. And, it's really publicized on YouTube, but he makes mention of that evidence. Look how the prosecutor looks when he, who's supposed to be a character witness, starts talking about the evidence that really only the prosecutor and Queso and Queso's attorney has. Listen to this.
I mean, the particular stories you're talking about, you've seen the evidence. So, it's a 5'3" guy and Hakeem's 6'3", for just getting into the facts of the whole thing. But yeah, I'm assuming some people definitely rap about what they've lived.
All right. Well, and based on that comment you just made, you indicated that I was aware the person was 5'3" and Hakeem Robinson is 6'3". When you mentioned 5'3", were you referencing the shooter captured on the dash cam video?
Yeah, that's the one video I've seen that we all know is not Hakeem Robinson.
All right. And where is your understanding of how tall?
Yo, real quick. I hate to pause the video. I'm going to actually bring back a little bit that I'll interrupt it. But I have to make the announcement. We're at about 3,500 people on Twitch, but YouTube is catching up pretty quickly. YouTube on your ass. It's about 3,300 over there. There's only 200 less people on Twitch that's already on YouTube, and we've never really streamed. This is one of my smallest channels on YouTube, but there's almost like it's almost equal in views. For my Twitch niggas, y'all know I've been rocking with y'all forever, but y'all cannot let YouTube beat y'all. Please do not let YouTube beat y'all. It's gonna have serious ramifications. By the way, Kimani Kirby, I see you. He said, Pete, my single with OCD with Trey Budden. Is that Joe Budden's son? You got a song with Joe Budden's son? He said it on YouTube. I'm looking at my Facebook only has 200. Facebook ain't a factor. It's really YouTube or Twitch, but I'm a Twitch nigga. Yo, J Hammaster 2, he says Twitch better than YouTube. By the way, if you don't know, the comments above my head, they're Twitch. We're Twitch heavy. But I'm trying to see, should I balance and juggle Twitch and YouTube? Okay, let's get back to this. By the way, we got so much shit to talk about. Yo, one thing y'all got to do, please, every about 10 minutes, spam drink water. Because if I get too drunk on this shit, you know how I get when I get drunk. So, I got to talk about Meg. I got to talk about Will, the cuck. We got to talk about Ari. We got to talk about a lot of shit. Like, the baby mamas, we're going to bring them to the forefront today. But I got to stay sober and stay alive and stay awake. Okay? Got 3 more minutes of this, and then we're going to cool out.
Yeah, that's the one video I've seen that we all know is not Hakeem Robinson.
All right, and where is your understanding of how tall the person in that dash cam video, where does that come from?
All the information I've seen.
And what information is that, sir?
I don't know what you technically call it, whatever the proper info is. You look at a video and you see it, and
okay, what is
how do I answer that? I want to answer that correctly for you and the judge. What do you mean? Like, what is the question exactly?
Okay, and I'll rephrase that. I'm asking you, what is your base of knowledge for asserting that the person in the video, the shooter, is 5'3"? What are you basing that information on, or that conclusion on?
Well, just like, take a look at him. He's 5'6", 5'7". He's not 6'3". As soon as I saw that video, I called Chris DeCosta and asked, what is this video circulating? I said, that's not Queso, because anybody that can look at Queso and look at that video will tell you that. And Chris can go on record and tell you that, that is exactly what happened.
Do you know how tall the victim was that's captured on that video?
The victim?
Yes.
No, I don't.
You have no idea.
Mm-mm.
So you would have no way of comparing the height of the victim captured on video to the person that's in the shooter captured on the video.
No, and maybe height wasn't the right word to use, but if you look at that video, again, maybe you have to know Queso in terms of like being next to him and seeing how big of a person he is, but
by the way, they've gone so far off the track. This is a bond hearing. This is not trial. But the prosecutor is trying to pick with the person vouching for him to say, well, let's see how well you really know the case if you're trying to use what you've seen from the case to be a reason you're vouching for him. And you're going to hear the judge stops it in a second.
Person in that video is very small, skinny, scrawny, and that just didn't look like Queso. So when I saw that, I sent it to Chris and said, what is this floating around the internet? Because it started to float around, saying it was Queso, and it was just impossible to be him. That's my personal opinion. I can't prove that. But if you or, the judge or whoever looked at those 2 videos, I believe it's pretty clear that it's not Queso in that particular situation.
Are you aware of...
By the way, let's see if we can find whatever he's talking about. Queso picture. I think there's a picture of him like shooting someone. Or like, I know the video shooting. No. No, that's not it. I know what they're talking about, but they're talking about Queso's height. Queso's height. Where there's a video supposedly of an incident, and I guess they're saying in the video the dude looks short and Queso's taller. I can't get to it, but
Of pending discovery involving digital scanning that was done in this case?
Objection. Facts not in evidence. We haven't received anything from
Okay,
digital.
let me stop everyone here because we're getting far afield from the bond motion, and I have a 3 o'clock hearing, so y'all have limited time, and whether this witness believes or doesn't believe that the defendant's in the video, that's going to be for a jury to decide. It's not for me, for you, for anyone here. So let's just get to the bottom of what we need to know to make a determination on bond.
Yes, I have no further questions, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Atkinson, any questions? Okay. All right. Any redirect?
I don't have any, Judge.
Okay, then thank you very much, Mr. Shipes. You can log out now, sir. Thank
All right,
you.
thank you. Have a good Friday.
Thank you, Mr. Shipes.
Bye, guys. Bye.
all right. I'm gonna play a really short portion
So, Judge, just
of Queso actually speaking himself, and I want y'all to tell me if this is cap. So they're trying to figure out should they give him a bond that's lower, whatever the case is, because basically his label owner says, "Yo, I only have 25,000 to the bond," right? So 25,000. If you get a bondsman with that, usually they do 10%. That's about 250,000. The guy's bond is $4 million, right? The guy who's Johnny Shipes, he's saying, "Yo, I haven't made no money from this guy. He actually owes me." So me putting up 25,000, I'm doing it because I think he's a good guy. You probably could scrounge up some amount, but like $4 million, that's a lot of fucking money. You know what I mean? If you were gonna pay a bail bondsman, you'd have to pay him $400,000. You will never get that back. So they're trying to get it lowered, and they're trying to find a way to get him out of jail. But with all of that, Queso takes the stand at this bond hearing. This is a little bit alarming to me. This is not normal, but in the first 3 questions, I want to ask y'all if y'all think this is cap, and then we'll move on to some other shit, all right?
to establish the evidence for the record, if we could have Mr. Robinson put on the oath so I could just ask him a few questions about what property he has and his bank accounts.
Okay, then Mr. Robinson, if you'll come up to this podium here and be sure to speak loudly and clearly into the microphone so your attorneys can hear you, and please raise your right hand to be sworn.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can put your hand down, and again, pull up that microphone closer to his mouth. Okay. All right, you may proceed, Ms. Kawaz.
Mr. Robinson, could you state your name for the record, please?
Hakeem Armani Robinson,
And how old are you?
23.
Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions right now about what it is that you have in your possession in terms of tangible assets and money, okay?
Okay.
Do you have a checking account?
I don't know what a checking account is.
Okay, do you have any bank accounts?
Wait, hold the fuck on up. This surprised me. Y'all think he capping or nah? First question, do you have a checking account? I don't know what a checking account is. I wonder if he knows what a 9mm is. Does he know what a 45 ACP is? Do you know what a 223, 556, 762? Does he know what that is? I'm wondering. Does he know what an AR pistol is? Does he know what a Glock is? Does he know the difference between a Glock 9? Does he know the difference between a Glock 45, a Glock 17, a Glock 19? Does he know the difference between a Ruger? Does he know the difference between a SIG? Does he know the difference between all those things? But a checking account.
23.
Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions right now about what it is
I need y'all to tell me if y'all think he capping.
that you have in your possession in terms of tangible assets and money, okay?
Okay.
Do you have a checking account?
I don't know what a checking account is.
Do you think he's capping or not? By the way, we all know people do shit to get out of jail. I'm never not a young man trying to get out of jail. But I'm gonna be very honest. If this is sincere that he doesn't know what a checking account is, and he's in the predicament that he's in, not saying that he's guilty or innocent, I don't know. I think that's sad upon the black race. Once you hit about 12, 13, especially around the time where you can get a job, how old you got to be to get a job where y'all from? Y'all tell me, spam it in the chat. For me, I think around like 16, like, I was in Jersey, you could get a job. Your mama should have brought you to go get a checking account. It's the one that your mama her name got to be on it. My mom was on my checking account for the longest time. I didn't even know when her shit came off, but that's what it is. Around 16, right? That's when you get a job. You about to get some money. Again, I'm not judging him in terms of saying whatever, but I feel it's sad. If this is sincere, it's sad. Him saying he doesn't have a checking account, to me, was sad. And I'm hoping he's capping, because if he's capping, I understand. But let's keep listening.
You have in your possession in terms of tangible assets and money, okay?
Okay.
Do you have a checking account?
I don't know what a checking account is.
Okay, do you have any bank accounts?
Yeah, I have a bank account.
How much money do you collectively have in your bank accounts? As far as you can remember, because I know you've been incarcerated for a long time.
Well, before I got locked up, I had like $1,000.
Okay, we could say approximately no more than 1,000?
No.
Okay, so any other bank accounts that you have any money in?
No.
Do you own any real property? And by that, I mean land, houses, buildings.
No.
Do you own any cars?
Yo, somebody, and by the way, if you're sending either donation bits or anything on Twitch, please let me know. But I also have the YouTube thing popped up. Dual Mitchell says, wait, so if he don't know what a checking account is, how the fuck did he cash the advance check that he got? That's a good question. Well, here's the thing. You could still cash a check in a savings account, right? Much of it? Maybe he can't write a check, right? But if you deposit your check straight into your savings, he knows what a bank account is. He's not that dumb. He just doesn't know what a checking account is, right? Somebody said check cash in place. Yo, you think a check cash in place would fucking cash a check of like 40,000? Yo, have any of y'all been to a check cash in place? I've always never been there because I've always just thought there's something shiesty about it. What's the max a check cash in place could do? By the way, chat, I'm monitoring this so close. YouTube got the lead. 3,700 on YouTube, 3,500 on Twitch. By the way, listen, we're going to put in perspective. 37 and 35, we about 7,200 people watching. But I'm trying to see who gonna win tonight. A check cash in place. That could work. Dude, Mitchell, you got your fucking answer. I'm gonna play a little bit more of it, and then we're gonna switch topics, all right?
Well, I had a car, but I don't own the car anymore.
Okay, so you don't possess any cars right now?
No.
Okay. And I mean, I right now don't have any other. You don't own a boat, nothing else like that?
No.
Miss Robinson?
No.
Boat.
Okay. And so what we have established at this point is financially what you have in your possession is $1,000.
I ain't there no more either though.
I didn't understand that. You can take off your mask if you need to.
It's not there anymore either. Like I used it to order food in here in the jailhouse.
Okay. Are you currently employed?
Signed to a label.
But you're not currently working, are you?
No.
How long have you been incarcerated?
A year and a half.
Are you allowed to work while you're incarcerated?
No.
How much money does it cost for you to make phone calls?
It's different prices. I don't call anyone in Jacksonville, so it'd be about $5, $7.
So if you, even though you don't have any money coming in, you have to rely on other people to put money on your phone.
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor, I don't have any other questions at this time.
All right, any cross on that limited financial issue? And Mr. Atkinson, any from you?
All right. I don't think there's much on that.
I suppose briefly, Mr. Robinson, how much money do you think that you have spent on jail calls and tablet visits since?
Okay. That niggas is asking much question. Anyway, I just want to give credit to Johnny Shipes. This is an artist and also somebody who's just like, involved in some shit who's not profitable label. And bro, we've just seen situation, they sent Bobby down the river. This is why, Bobby just posted not too long ago that he got off Epic. He wish the person for Epic vouched for him like this, bro. Nobody did. They didn't show up in court. They want nothing to do with it. You know why? Because in America, for other people, a conspiracy charge is scarier than a murder charge. They don't have any reason or they don't have any, leeway or anything to fucking subpoena the financial records or to comb through all the financial documents of a Johnny Shipes. You know why? He's not charged with anything. This is murder. Conspiracy, and this is the thing about the RICO charge. This is the reason I'm telling y'all now. Go back in the history of hip hop. Murder Inc. got dropped. Bro, when it comes to conspiracy, they want to see where all the money that funded the fuckery came from. I'm telling you this as a fact. 6ix9ine got dropped. His last album was not released on UMG. He got dropped. Remember when Dummy Boy came out when he got locked up? They told the nigga he was signed to, which is the son of Lucian Grange, who runs the whole UMG. That boy is charged with a RICO. We're not putting out no album of his. You know what 6ix9ine had to do? His label had to take that album and put it out on an indie label. Dummy Boy came out indie. No label wants to be on a big conspiracy charge. You know why? They start tracking the money. That money that comes down, they start looking at everybody to say, were you funding music or were you funding violence? A murder charge is just cut and dry. Did you shoot him or not? A conspiracy and a RICO charge? They invented that shit to take down the mafia, to take down the mob, to take down the niggas they could never catch in a room with drugs. They could never catch hook, line, and sinker with a murder charge. So they came up with conspiracy. Well, you paid the nigga that paid the nigga that paid the nigga who did the shooting. So really, you're just as guilty as the nigga who pulled the trigger. What they got going on in Jacksonville, that's not no higher up shit. That's some nigga shit. That's just some, yo, you killed this person. Same with Chicago. When it comes to New York a lot, what they do is they start to blame every shooting, every killing on a gang. Then who gets culpable in that? when it comes to a gang who's funding it, they're always going to have some drugs on it. Oh, the gang moved this drugs. They got mad violence. But who funded the gang? Who paid for this? Oh, 6ix9ine, you paid for a nigga to be shot at. Great. Now imagine if they could track that money to come from Universal Music Group. Let's say 6ix9ine gave a nigga $100,000 to go shoot at a nigga. And they could track that money. And that money, not only did it come from 6ix9ine, unknowingly, because of obviously people at UMG, they're not giving money to 6ix9ine to go pay for hitmen or shooters. But if they could point the money there, who knows? They could have a bigger case against UMG and bring them in federal court. You see why they drop all these niggas? Once you catch a RICO, you're off every label. I'm telling you this right now. You catch a federal RICO, no label will fuck with you. You're done.
All this work I'm doing for what? Reading books when I get out my funds. 31 days in a month I feel done. 7 days in a week I'm done. Bullets be flying like bullets and guns. 2 a.m. in my head I go nuts. I start bugging, I feel like the one.